This piece is untitled, and it's a depiction of my face. It says, "It takes a ton of practice to be this mediocre at drawing, and even though mediocrity scares me, I think about how much I've improved." This piece is titled A Walk. The first page is just of the girl walking outside confidently, one foot out in front of the other. The second page is titled Gas Station and says that she walks at a medium to brisk pace. The image is of her walking towards the front doors of the gas station, and directly to her left is a demon who stands there watching her. In a smaller panel are two hands meeting at the register. The third page is titled Parking Lot and says that she walks fast as fuck. The girl walks through the parking lot as two demons stare at her through the car window. The fourth page is titled The Park and it says that she walks slow, fast walks. The girl is walking on a sidewalk. Surrounding her are bushes, and in those bushes are eyes and hands that peek and reach out for her. Page 5 is titled To Front Door, and it says that she walks slow but has fast eyes. The image is of the girl who sits in her car staring trepidatiously out at her door. There's a demon who is peeking out from the side of her house. In smaller panels, it shows that she has her keys at the ready and her phone in hand. The sixth page is titled Public Bathroom, and it says that she walks fast and pees fast. The image is of the girl staring at down a very long corridor that's dark. And page 7 is titled At Night, and the text says NA for walking. It shows that a bunch of demons are looking through her window. And the last page just says the end, and then the image is of the girl walking, surrounded by a group of faceless people.
Untitled. 3 shipping labels with marker illustrations are stuck to a piece of sketchbook paper in the formation of a triad. Orange-colored pencil rings are situated beneath the tags.
This is entitled Dangerous. There is Shrek that's facing the viewer with his fists on his hips, and he's smiling to show a set of sharp fangs. He is surrounded in barbed wire, with a spiked flail above his head, 3 skulls around him, and a bloody sword beneath him. There is also a small tombstone with the acronym RIP for Rest in Peace that is written on it to the left of his head. This is entitled The Lion's Den. This is the scene of a haunted house attraction. There is a couple that is following the path on the ground and holding one another while several scare actors working the room, as well as a security guard with a light-up baton to direct the guests look onwards at the couple. To their left, there is a scare actor that is popping out of a table and is contorted to look like they broke free from a hanging noose and have no lower half to their body. They are wearing a protective face mask, but in the very foreground to the right of the couple, there's a small table that holds an ornamental goblet, either with a cup of wine or blood in it, and an equally ornamental bowl beside that goblet that holds several skulls. To the right of the couple in the background, there is an eyeball that is bulging out of a frame on the very top of the wall, and below it is a broken picture frame with a tiger-shaped scare actor popping out of the frame. The couple is approaching a stairway that's labeled Exit, but there is a hand with a knife in it at the very top of the stairwell.
Virgin Mary, a low-poly model of Elmo's head from Sesame Street, is on top of the body of a child. A larger illustrated head of Elmo sits behind the baby, and a can of carnation condensed milk sits at the bottom right.
This piece is called Summer Diary Entry 1. The first panel says, "My son and I pretended to be ants." Image of my son and I silhouetted, super tiny, amongst the grass. Panel number 2 says, "It was really hard." Again, us silhouetted, helping out an ant move rocks. Panel 3 says, "We got lost a lot," and it's an image of my son and I lost in the grass. Panel 4 says, "We hid beneath a rock to see if someone would find us." Image of my son and I hiding in the ground underneath a rock. You can see a plant in the dirt. The last panel says, "We missed it when we were big again," And the image is of presumably my son's hand, and on top are two little ants.
Uh-oh. Angels and cartoonish bodies gesturally float throughout the page. Angel wings, faces, cigarettes, and a cat are present. Untitled. One female form sits nude on the bed. The silhouette of a similar female form from the shoulders up peers to the left of the room. Untitled. A bust of Canadian actor Michael Cera is drawn in blue-colored pencil. A printed PNG of me, Alex Hickey, dressed as a clown holding a blow-up doll is taped to the bottom right with masking tape.
This is entitled Pumpkin Jamboree. There's a young kid in sunglasses that has long hair and baggy shorts on that's holding up their cell phone to record 3 dancers that are dressed in matching tank tops and pumpkin helmets that are doing a coordinated dance routine. One of these dancers has a nautical anchor tattoo on their bicep. Up on the stage in the background, there's another performer with that same pumpkin outfit that's singing into a microphone to the crowd. But in the distance, there is a taco food truck with a long line and a palm tree with a skeleton smiling underneath it. Around, littered on the ground, are beer bottles and disposable face masks. This is entitled Fog and Nausea. There are 2 scare actors on stilts that are dressed like wizards. They hold long wands and their robes are covered in stars. They have long white beards and long caps. Between them is a guest that is puking violently onto the street and entirely missing the trash can next to them. The wizards look concerned, and behind them is an immense wave of fog and the massive gates to the park itself.
2 dogs in love. 2 low-poly models of Jammer Lammy and Katy Cat from Parappa the Rapper are posed on top of a pentagram and fire. Untitled. A giant roach with the body of a father lovingly cradles a young child. Lammy from Parappa the Rapper stands in the background. Pizza 1. Barking dogs encircle 2 children, a boy and a girl eating pizza. A badly drawn rendition of Baphomet sits behind them.
This is entitled Watching the Clock. There are 2 scare actors on the break sitting at a metal park bench in their outside employee area facing away from each other. There is one that is dressed like a massive bat that's glued to their phone, but at the center of the picture there is the other actor who is dressed like a witch. They are taking a hit from their vape and holding their phone, but their eyes are glued to the atomic clock on the wall behind them. The time reads 9:23, and the wall holds vending machines, strong fans to pump air conditioning outside, and signs reminding employees don't forget to smile. There is a checkerboard pattern on the floor.
This piece is untitled, and it depicts a witch who's wearing a pointed hat and a warm-colored robe, long hair. She holds her phone down onto the countertop. We see the reflection of her in the bathroom mirror. The text says, "My parents expect a lot from me and my powers."
Untitled. The white foam board panel displays trails of white grout that form an abstract cityscape. A name tag that spells out "Hello" sits in the top left corner with a cat head in the middle of the tag. A similar enlarged cat head is situated at the bottom right.
This is entitled Spring Cleaning, and it is 2 witches in traditional black robes with pointy hats blocking the picture plane with their broomsticks in an X formation.
Untitled. The white foam board panel displays trails of white grout. Gestural lines and cartoonish forms and limbs circulate throughout the board.
This is entitled Everglades, and it is a scaly gill man stepping forward out of the picture plane.
Dog 6. A low-poly model of Courage the Cowardly Dog is placed within the middle of 2 shipping labels. Gestural cartoon forms crowd the 2 shipping labels placed on a green background.
This is entitled Photo Op, and it is a young man in a Bucks hat getting his picture taken with a scare actor dressed in overalls with a hockey mask and a chainsaw. He's flicking off the camera with both hands and crouching while the hockey mask scare actor kneels to get into the frame. Their picture is taken by a different scare actor employee dressed like a ghoul in robes with gloves and a mask.
This piece is called Summer Diary Entry 2. Panel 1 says, "I had promised my son we'd catch fireflies, but when we went outside, we didn't see anything, and the image is just of darkness." Panel 2 says, "He'd never seen one before, so he didn't know what to look for. but I used to catch them when I was sent to live at my aunt's farm, and the image is just of a firefly. Panel 3 says, alone, I'd squat in the tall grass with my wrists together like balloons. I missed home. I remember feeling disappointed when I caught my first one. I'd imagined once caught, the light would warm my hands, and the image is of 2 hands. Panel 4 says, my son spots a light, and another, in between the black-eyed Susans and overgrown hepaticas. I caught one and placed it in a jar. He named it Congo Jelly, then released it, his warm hands cupped around my neck as we watched it go, and the image is of a firefly in a jar.
This is entitled Tunnel of Despair. In the foreground, 2 park employees guard the entrance to a haunted attraction designed to resemble an ancient castle. They have on ponchos because it is raining, and they hold light-up wands to direct the guests. They're talking among themselves. In the background, within the attraction, we see a couple. There's a woman in a tank top and bell-bottom jeans with very coily hair, and a heavy-set man in cargo shorts wearing Crocs. He has long hair but is completely bald on top. They're approaching a muscular scare actor dressed like an executioner and holding an axe. He blocks the way forward with his large frame.